everybody. This is Dave, coming at you from a day at the shop, Refugio Cigar Lounge, 635 Lawrence Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And I want to give a happy belated birthday to my special guest today, KZ Sims, in the house today. And I want to give a shout to Frankie Diva coming down today from Mob Candy Magazine. We also have the exclusive Mob Candy cigars in the Torpedo and Robusto. We have single and packs, and that's available only here or at the Mob Candy website. More information, you can definitely hit us on Facebook, and we'll definitely tell you about some things we got going on in the shop. And I'm excited to have these two gentlemen here today because they've known each other for a while, and I wanted them to talk about their relationship and how they met each other. So I'll start with Keon first.
It was about 2008. I was on Court Street, downtown Brooklyn, at the Barnes & Nobles, and as a photographer for a few years at the time. Every time I saw a new magazine that was out and it was in New York, I always made sure I looked to see, like I checked the address. So I went out 411, spoke to Tyrone Christopher, the co-founder of Mob Candy, and he said, yo man, let's defend this on MySpace, whatever, check the number, keep us as friends. So I signed up, I defended him on MySpace. They were having a party for the second issue. That was February 2008, so I called him and said, get in contact with Chrissy, which is Frankie's daughter now. So she told me she bought me, and my buddy Garvey came and shot it. It's funny, Frankie opened the door for me. He wore like something like this. He actually had a t-shirt on. He was like, come inside. Later on, he got dressed up. I didn't even recognize him. He had a suit on, so the party was really nice. It actually made the Daily News party. Started going to the office, speaking with him, and he was like, oh yeah, I remember you opened the door for you. I'm like, oh, that was you. Yeah, so we were speaking, and for a whole year I followed him around. I mean, Tyrone kept saying, call him for Frankie, call him up, and every time I called him, he was like, who? I said, Keon, remember me, the little guy from the, coming to the office? Oh yeah. So about a year later, he called me, and he said, hey Keon, this is Uncle Frankie. I'm like, yeah, I got your number. I said, we're having a party, why don't you come on through? And it was like, history ever since, you know? I'm always around him. We've been all over the country. We've been to Florida, all over the city. I've met so many celebrities from this guy. Lon DeSanti, Vincent Pastore, Clint Casella, G-Fella, the cast from Mob Wives. You know, and people, I got befriended by so many people on Facebook because of that. So let Frankie continue from there.
That was a G2 party, or was it the runway party?
That was the runway
party, yeah. We had 300 people at that party. That was a great party. Like you said, we got a Daily News that time because at the end of the night, there was a fight between a few guys at the end of the party, and there was a newspaper reporter, and the only thing he reported about the whole party was there was a fight at the end. I forgot what the headline was. It was mobsters and bashes or something like that. But we got a newspaper, we got a nice newspaper. It was a great party. I remember right after that, you think that Tyrone told me that we were trying to get in touch with him and stuff like that. It was a little while later, party you down for do a party.
He's a party of merchants.
Merchants, right. That was our
That's when I first was eating.
That's right. And from then on, we just became friends, and now, like I said, we've been all over the country. All the parties we do, a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And more than that, we're pretty much, friends. So we go to birthday parties, we go to communions, confirmations,
funerals,
wakes, we do everything together. But the main thing we do is that Keon shoots for all the celebrities for us, for the magazine, all the parties. We got a lot of. We just spoke about the other day. We got some new shit coming up with the book, the new book. You know what I mean? The Gangster book we're working on right now. We're starting to film. I think next week or the week after we're going to start filming at Refugio. You guys know that, right? We're filming one of the scenes of, I think it was shooting Al Capone. We got cut. I think it was one of those scenes where we killed Headley. We would have filmed that here. We just put it together now.
Play Beyblade?
You can play Beyblade. You look like him a little bit. Yeah. After Capone shot him, he turned purple. We lit out. But that's gonna be fun, yeah. That's gonna be fun, yeah.
Now, Keon, I know Frankie mentioned that you're a professional photographer. How long have you been?
Well, I never said professional. Who said you were professional? I just said he's
Fashion
How
show.
long have you been in the game of photography?
Cool ass. Some of this shit is 4.0. I mean, 4.0, that's like antiquated now.
How long ago was that?
05. And I said, no, I'm gonna be a photographer. Got these bullshit cards made up. Told girls, I'll do a portfolio for you, $100 and all that. Going around with my bullshit cards, and the first thing I actually got paid for was bodybuilding. The lady used to be a trainer in my gym, professional bodybuilder. She came in 1995. She used to host competitions for the guys in the gym. So it was at Bishop Ford. I went there. My picture sucked. She gave me $40 just for coming. It still sucked. Yeah, it boosted my confidence. And I got to see some muscular women too. So yeah, it was nice. But
He still goes around with those cards. He still has those bootleg fucking cards. He still got it. And he still asks people $100. No one's paying him, but that's what the kind of things that.
yeah, no one
paying him.
no one paid to see it.
No. No. I only get a camera. I'll start taking pictures.
What are you smoking there, Keith?
This is the house blend and Chubby's. I love these things about Refugio. You know, a lot of flavor to it. It's medium to full. A lot of flavor to it, you know. Good, consistent burn. Don't have to keep lighting it.
It's a very nice cigar. It's actually made by a gentleman who worked for the Davidoff factory for 20 years. It's a very, very nice cigar. It's got 3 or 4 different tobaccos in the cigar. Very consistent, nice solid white ash. And it's a very popular size. It's like a short Robusto Gordo. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a 60 ring gauge by 5. 54 by 5, something like that. 58 by 5. Well, anyway, it's a short Robusto Gordo. We'll figure out the measurements later.
Maybe I ought to put in my pants so you know I had a happy.
So I want to shoot that.
Where's the hostess? The hostess?
She's on her way. So I met Keon when I worked at Davidoff.
Oh, this is funny.
And so Keon came in. He was kind of a rookie with cigars, and he was obsessed with smoking Romeo and Juliet, the Grey Tubo, which, in my opinion, it's a good beginner cigar. But I thought it was expensive, and I was trying to recommend that he smoke something a little bit more full body, but actually cheaper. Cheaper than the Romeo. And I hounded him for months, and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't budge. He wanted Romeo and Juliet. He wanted the Grey Tubo. And so he came in one day, and I called him Captain Cardboard, King Cardboard actually, because he was obsessed with But I'm glad that he came in. He had a lot of questions. He was very inquisitive. And about a year later after that, I met him at a cigar inn at
the
rooftop, and at a FTNYC event. And I noticed he was smoking Padrones. And I was like, wow, he's stepping it up now. Because he admitted to me that his palate was starting to evolve, and he was starting to appreciate more flavor, which I thought was really cool. And then I found out he was a comic book buff. So it's like cigars and comics. It's like an anime. It's like that's pretty much it. And food are pretty much my favorite, and then Scotch. But those are pretty much my favorite things to do. So I've been intrigued with him ever since that. And once again, happy belated birthday. He just celebrated his birthday.
How old are you?
38.
And he looks good.
You don't look a day over 35. In fact, before his 38th birthday, he looked a lot younger. This last 25 hours killed you, man. It's that hostess.
So let me ask you guys a question. Of the events that you've done together, what would you say was the most memorable event you guys
Over the fight. I say I think the G2 party was pretty cool.
I like the Amanda Sante.
Sante, yes. We did a benefit in Milan. We had about 200 people at the Michael's restaurant. That was pretty cool. The mom was really, really, really funny with us. He did a lot of things with us. He really hosted really well. He was really friendly.
A consummate gentleman.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't get a chance to eat.
Yeah, he was.
People were coming up here for autographs, pictures,
Yeah.
and, you know.
But Brian's a cigar smoker.
Yes, he is. He is.
He's a cigar aficionado, I should
Yes.
say, yeah.
Very, very, very noticeable. He did a, we did a, that party, we did, put a film together of all his past films. He didn't know we would do that. In the middle of the party, we set everything down and set up the screen in the middle of the place and ran through all this stuff. It was really good. People didn't expect that. And he really came up good. He loved it. He didn't know what to do for us.
Well, it's kind of like a homage and a thank you, right?
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
it's kind of cool that he didn't bail us, so he really done that.
And to get to do anything because he's so busy, for him to come to the charity event was amazing. The guy's totally busy. So, and these guys usually, when they got free time, they'll come run for you, you know. And it was a new relation between me and him. We just did my cover. And
Now, how'd you get in touch with him?
Frank Vincent. Frank Vincent called me up and I did a cover with Frank Vincent. And Frank Vincent happened to be friends with Amanda Sanchez.
He's also a cigar aficionado.
Yes, yes. And
Had his own line for a while.
he did. And I tried it.
Yeah, no good. I've had it too.
I just did marketing, which will kill them, you know. But speaking to Frank Vincent one day, and Frank said, you know, I just wrote the phone I'm on. I'd love to do the magazine. I gave him my number. I called him on. I introduced myself. And he said, whatever you want, man. I said, I sent a car to get you. He goes, I'll come down myself. He came down with a big pickup truck, cowboy boots on, and his daughter. She's ready to shoot for a suitor. We started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I thought we'd be finished in about 2 hours.
Who did the photo shoot for?
These guys, at the time, I didn't have no set in-house, you know, photographer for covers. I used these guys, Hagen Hayes. It was really, really good. Very, very good. And but I wanted to have the words with them, so they wanted to tell me what to use, not to use, and like that. I don't go for that shit, so.
Now, Keon, did you get pictures of Armand at the charity event?
But yeah, actually that issue, me and my buddy Gardner, we did the whole party, so all the pictures in there for me and Gardner. And what I also liked about it was I met Gianni Russo.
Yeah,
He
Johnny,
played the role of Carlo in
The Godfather. Yeah, we sat, after that party, we went into the bar, we came to the bar, me, my daughter, my wife, and Johnny Russo, and we sat and got drunk for the rest of the night after the party. Johnny good guy, he was a good guy. But I was saying, we did the Amon shoot. It was supposed to take like 2 hours, but him being the section he is, we finished at midnight that night.
Wow.
They did a take with him coming out of the door with a girl. It's like they're waiting for a taxi. They did it 150 times. And he shot in the middle of winter. It was ice cold. But they didn't stop. I mean, they were crazy. They were really crazy. He was that kind of perfectionist. And he wanted to get it right. So it was a great shoot. But like I said, it's like a 14-hour shoot. 2 hours shoot, 14 hours. But we had some great photos.
Awesome.
And also for Amanda Sanchez, he's a philanthropist.
Yeah.
He has an organization where he takes care of children from war-torn countries like Yugoslavia, Kosovo, places like that. You know, so he also he also showed a film about his organization, which was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to a premiere of his about that, with us going on in these countries, about how he's doing something about the landmines. How there's so many landmines in these third world countries, and they're trying to go through the country and dismantle them. But he said there's over millions of them, and that's one of the organizations he pushes for. Really good guy. Really good.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna just do a little, talk about the book a little bit too. Mob Candy, Brooklyn Gangsters, 70 square miles of blood and balls. So tell us a little bit about the magazine, just a little recap, so we'll come back tonight too.
Being from Brooklyn and doing the magazine, I had a lot of time on my hands at one point, and I wrote the book on gangsters that I knew came up through Brooklyn. So I sat there, and I just did my you know, get as much information as I could on them. And I just wrote 22 stories of guys who came up from Brooklyn. The end of the book was of how everybody came up from Brooklyn, these gangsters. Historically, everybody knows what the hell they did. So I didn't key on, you know, all the crimes, all the killings, all mentioned in there. But the book's about if they were born here, where they went to school, what kind of environment they came from, what neighborhood in Brooklyn, if they started in gangs, why they started in gangs, if they were poor, and how they developed into people there. Everybody knows who Al Capone was. A lot of people didn't know, you know, how he developed to be Al Capone. And that's what the book does. It tells you, you know, that his father was a barber, and that he was here Navy shoot, that he lived in a Cold War flag, and you know, how they got from there to another little apartment. Capone's father was a big pool player. And he died in 1920. The father had a heart attack coming out of a pool room in Fifth Avenue on Garfield Street. Now, you don't know these little stuff. You know, I found the book. You know? Sure. So, and then towards the end of the book, you know, it starts in 1920, and ends up with Gotti then. And I have to meet, you know, John Gotti, and I have to meet the S-Pipe, and Willie Barrio, and three guys in black in the back of the book, and I just threw in there when I met them, the experience of meeting them, how they were, you know, what we did, whatever it was, and I pretty much think it came out pretty good if you're looking for, you know, some background on guys that you normally don't get.
No, I think it's interesting.
So that's
and the fact that he started in 1920 is really
yeah, I know I from Capone, because Capone came from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, everybody about Capone knows Chicago. He did a ton of shit here before he left, man.
Yeah.
You know, he did a lot of stuff. So,
Now, what year did Capone leave to go?
1920.
Then that's when he left to go to Chicago.
Yeah. He got married in Brooklyn, St. Mary's Garden City. You know, went to church in Brooklyn. His wife's in Brooklyn. Married an Irish girl from downtown where I come from. It's just a good story. Cool story.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. Just once again, we're getting ready to take a little break. Mom Candy Cigars, sponsored by Mom Candy and Refugio Cigar Lounge. It's an exclusive cigar and a Torpedo Robusto, singles and packs, and it's available only here and at the Mom Candy website. And I'm going to make a couple of quick announcements. We got Fight Night coming up this Saturday. You can go on Facebook and send some messages to Big Jimmy or Mike, and we can get you information on it. We're going to have cigar raffles, cigar purchases, specials for the night, a couple of free giveaways, and we may be having a special guest host that evening as well. And that's this Saturday, the 9th coming up. We also have a couple other things coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And this is David, Day in the Shop, signing off. Back in a little bit. Thanks, guys. Hey, what's up, man? It's David. David the shop, Refugio Cigar House, 635 Lawrence Street, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Coming back for part 2 today, and make a couple of quick announcements about some events we have coming up. June 8th, we have a charity poker event here at the shop. Come show your skills. We got a couple of pretty good card sharks in the house, so I recommend you guys come down for that. That's on June 8th. June 9th is fight night. We're going to do a $15 admission. You get one cigar. We're going to have cigar raffles, free giveaways as well, and maybe a special guest host for the night. June 10th, we have TNA, pay-per-view wrestling. We're working on the details for that. June 16th is the Sip and Smoke. One of the things that we do in the shop is we do branding education. So we do a lot of pairing with spirits and cigars, how to cut a cigar correctly, how to light it, difference in flavors and wrappers and what nuances they have. So come down for that. Those are really cool. They're a lot of fun. June 17th is WWE pay-per-view. That's Father's Day special as well. And then we have the 23rd, which is another cut and light. The cut and light is very similar. It's more educational about cigars as well. The 24th, we have Frankie and Tony Knapp coming down for the book signing event for the Mob Candy Brooklyn Gangsters book. So we're going to be doing a book signing here, and be the first to come down, get a book, so buy a book and get it signed and get a free t-shirt, which is kind of cool. And speaking of the Mob Candy, we also have the Mob Candy cigars, which are exclusive only at Refugio Cigar Shop and on the Mob Candy website. We even offer a Torpedo and a Robusto. We offer them packs and singles. It's a very nice cigar, Dominican origin. It's got a lot of flavor, very, very tasty cigar with Sumatra wrapper. And it's good stuff. I also want to one more announcement about a big event that we have coming up. We're putting together Refugio's first luau pig roast, all you can eat, and it's going to be at Grandma Rose's. Some of the things we're going to have in the menu are going to be Hawaiian pork fried rice, corn on the cob, hamburgers, hot dogs, short ribs, and that's going to be $75 the day of the event. But if you're fast enough and you're smart, you come to the shop and you pay $50 by July 2nd. And that's going to be on July 14th. If you need more information about that event, you can contact the shop. You can also hit us via Facebook and get us a message, and we'll get that to you as well. It's fantastic, and it's definitely worth it. Grandma Rose's is a great, great restaurant around here, and they got some good food. I also want to mention every Wednesday, we've been doing for the last almost a year now, the Bruno Sexy Blue Smoke Blue Screen, hosted by Kevin Senior and KD Sims. And that's really cool for movie buffs because every month we focus on a different genre of movies, which is really cool. These guys are hardcore. I mean, they get into like the directors and the actors, and they talk about the storylines. So it's really cool. Like I said, every month, excuse me, we showcase a different genre, which is really exciting. And it's free. A lot of the events, most of the events that we do at the shop are free. But we do appreciate, supporting the house, buying some cigars and hanging out. And we also impress on BYOB, so you guys can come hang out and have a little sippy sip, check out some of the stuff we got here. One of the other events that we do regularly is boxing on Tuesday. We show a lot of knockout fights, old previous fights, which is really cool. And we have different hosts that come down and talk about some of their favorite fights and some of their history in boxing. And that's really cool. And that's also free admission. We just require plus in the house, which is a pretty easy thing to do. And with that being said, I think that's it for the events coming up. I'm going to turn it back over to Keon. He had a question for Frankie, so I want to turn it over to Keon.
One of the interesting things about the police programs on TV, documentaries, whatever, you always see Luciano, Al Capone, John Gotti. It gets a little repetitive after a while. This one had people in there like everyone from, or at least the key members from Murder Inc. 8 brothers, who else was in there from Murder Inc? Lucky.
We had Rico Paul. We had the Blue Moon, pretty much everyone was hit from the Murder Inc. guys.
One of my favorites in towards the end, Paulie Barrio. Everyone's seen Goodfellas. Paulie Barrio was Paulie, played by Paul Sabino. He was actually a friend of your father's, right?
Yes, Paulie Barrio was from my father.
Well,
I met Paulie in the early 70s to my father. My father was one of the bodyguards for Larry Gallo family. And he knew a lot of people and he helped a lot of different guys. When there was no wartime, everybody mingled together. So he met a lot of different guys, a lot of different groups. I met Paulie, which I wrote a book. Paulie got in touch with my father, he was having some trouble at the docks, at the airport. Paulie got in the airport, there was some kind of union problem, so I called my father. And I met my father and Paulie at the Skyway Hotel. And we sat down there for about a week, every day for a week, and it out. I can read it to you when I wrote the book. He said, yeah, it's a small, at the end of the story, I wrote the whole story about Paulie, how he came up, what he did, what he didn't do. And at the end, it was true my meaning was. And it says, I met Big Paulie in the 70s. My father helped him with some trouble he was having with some shipping companies in Kennedy network that wanted to utilize. My father had connections to either stop it or help it go through. We had a deal with Joe Shapani. Joe Shapani was the Lucky Luciano, Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe was getting old, but he still had the unions by the balls. So for a couple of weeks, we ate with Big Paulie at the Skyway Hotel near the airport. He was, to say nicely, a rough-looking guy, but he was a great host. My father made a long-term friendship with him, and I became the liaison between them. He always treated me well and with respect. I have nothing to say bad about him. Yes, he was a little intimidating, but we were dealing with killers. At the end, my father did a few years in prison with Paulie, not on the same charges, but they were in prison at the same time. I guess all gangsters eventually meet in jail. Paulie died in there, my father came home. That's a little thing I throw in the end of the guys I met. After doing the whole story about Paulie, how he came up, who he was, and how he got people about him.
and also Sonny Black.
Black.
In his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Played by Michael Madsen and Donnie Brasco. You said you knew him too?
Yes. Another day, I think it was Shylock or some guy's old Sonny some money that was friends of ours from downtown. Being that my father knew Sonny. We met at the Motion Lounge. And we sat and talked and we tried to straighten it out. And what happened was Sonny liked Double Zell. Double Zell is a lamb's head. So my uncle, Joey, which is from the neighborhood here, that knew Sonny too. And I had to go and audition back in Detroit with my father to see Sonny. And after they made the introduction and what had to be done and not be done, I always took care of everything after that. So I used to come to the neighborhood and one day he mentioned that he liked Double Zell. And my Uncle Joey Glicklick made a Double Zell and we went over to the restaurant and and while we were there, I also met didn't know him well. I got a little friendly with Sonny, but I met, what's his name? Lefty. I met Lefty. He was a nice guy. He was quiet. But Sonny, I got friendly with. A lot of guys in the book that we met, right? I met Dottie a few times. Bobby Borriello, which used to be down Pleasant Street with us. A lot of people don't know that Bobby Borriello was originally a battle. He was in jail in the middle 70s, late 70s, and met John Gotti. Apparently Gotti was in jail for doing a small bit, and they got close. And when Bobby Borriello got out of jail, he got released from the gallows on the boat. Little things like that. And when John was on trial, I used to hang out in Portugal, and Bobby used to bring him in for lunch. So I was there, you know, there all the time. Bobby is Bruce McCool. Being that my father was well respected, Bobby is Bruce McCool. We sat down at lunch 2-3 times, and started talking. You know, just nothing shocked. He was more just complaining about the court case all the time, you know, to talk about. And he whispered something about a year, I'm reading the book. On the way out, get a message from my father, and I don't move out, you know, about someone that killed. And put it in the book. That's how I met John. I said like 3 times in lunch, unfortunately. That's how I met one of you guys, no gas pipe. And this is something. I didn't meet the whole was dead before I was born. There's a lot of gangsters that I met, a lot of big names that I did in the course of 40 years I was involved with this shit. That I did. The new book, the Manhattan Gangster book, you know, a lot of old guys there too. You know, so I don't know. But Uncle Joe Chapani was with Lucky Luciano. So I wrote a story about Lucky Luciano, and Uncle Joe related a couple of things to me before he passed away. I just threw in there, you know. I wrote a story about the new book has Lucky Luciano and Frank Costello. I had lunch with Frank Costello in 1971. In New York. I needed a favor from Frank Costello. And Frank Costello was still strong, even though it was a year before he passed away. And Frank was still strong with unionizing and stuff like that. And we sat down and had lunch with him, you know. In the story, it tells you what was said and what Costello said to me. I can't tell it right now because the book's not out. But just stuff like that of guys I met in person. Some stories of just that I didn't meet them, but I did my homework on that and my interpretation of all the stuff we heard on TV and books written by guys or movies that I just learned that a lot of stuff is bullshit, you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I know that the story with Sonny Black was not Pacino's character of the movie.
Yeah, he's
And now what's the real story with that? Pacino's character in the movie was killed.
in the movie he was killed, right? Not in real life, he was in jail.
Right.
And about cancer.
Was Sonny Black's character the one that was?
Sonny Black's the one that got murdered.
They didn't show it in the movie.
Right. They didn't show that in the movie.
They called for Sonny Black. In the movie they called for Lefty.
Right. They called Sonny Black. Sonny Black's the one that went in and walked with the jewelry, you know, those guys.
No, that was Lefty. Remember when he left it? He to the right. Then he said,
But it wasn't, but in real life, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, right. In the movie they twisted it around.
They were going to kill Lefty too. The law happened to pick him off the street before they, you know, got to kill him. If I'm not mistaken, Lefty's the one that brought the Donnie Blasco in. So it was just so he just got lucky and got picked off the street by the law before they killed him. Like I said in the book, my belief of reading and knowing a lot of people, I scratch my head how these guys just walk into the store. Reneo did it, and so did Sonny. I just don't understand. It's like an oxymoron. After you're a murderer, killer, you do all kinds of atrocities, and then, you know, I know you're making oath and you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but it's been broken since the 20s. All the rules were broken since the 20s. That's how, you know, we got to where the mafia got to where it was today, was by breaking all the rules. So, and I just found that in the book I explained why I just find it odd for a guy, a musician, just to walk in and just get shot in the head. I think it was me, but I know if it was me, before I would take my jewelry off and walk down the basement and get shot in the head, you're gonna have to find me, man. You know what I mean? Or at least shoot back. You know what I mean? I guess you killed 19 people, make it 21 on the way out the door. What the fuck's the difference? So I don't understand the mindset of these guys. I know being a criminal, a killer, you gotta be a certain, you know,
Common sense.
I would say there's a certain mindset to do things they do. But then all of a sudden, it's like, you know.
I mean, there is this realization that it's over.
Yeah, but if you kill, like you said, you got 19 people, and half the times, a lot are thrown in there because you're just a nasty prick. And trust me, a lot of things happen because of power
And this nasty guys, I mean, that's the way, you know, their mindset was. And just to walk, you know, walk into it is crazy. They've done it in the 20s and 30s too. I mean, I think a couple guys who murdered him, that they did dirty bodies, man. If you looked at them wrong, it would kill you. You actually, and they just walk into this war. I mean, I say running is the most greatest thing around, but I mean, it's more sensible. You got a half a brain in your head, would you run first? I'm not saying go to the cops or go for this. Run away, let them find you. Go kill them first. I just said, go kill them, you're a killer. Now, if you were just a regular guy in the world, you know, taking numbers, you're not a killer, or Shylock, or just a flunky. There's flunkies everywhere. Then you say, no, you're not a killer. And you just, you know, working with them as a wannabe, and just like that life, or making money. It's okay. It's just very sensitive, like walk with a crazy story.
The guys who probably made that call themselves.
Yeah, I just know it's crazy. I mean, it's happened over the last 80 years, like a dozen times. A little more popular now because of television and the guy, you know guys' names.
Now, I want to ask a quick question. I'd like to ask this question, how you came up with the name and mob. What's the definition of the word mob candy?
A mob is a historical story, so it's a mob. And the candy is all this stuff in the magazine, as far as girls, cigars, food, jewelry, clubs, some cars. That's the candy. That's the candy of the mafia. Because when the boys in the old days, not only did they do criminal things, they enjoyed the candy. You know, they used to go to fine clubs. We used to have the prettiest girls around there. They used to go, but in the old days, you know, 50s, 60s, you know, gangster was like a celebrity. He used to go into the Copa or go into, you know, Good Shores or to Rodney Dangerfield's to get a table. People went over to them and want to shake their hand and kiss them like they were movie stars. So, you know, they enjoyed the candy. I mean, I know the last 20 it hasn't been that way because the whole world's different. But in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they were like celebrities. You know, like Capone used to go to the baseball game. He signed autographs at a baseball game. Signed balls. Capone. I mean, it's nuts, you know what I mean? You know, when Frank Costello used to go to, used to hang out at a lot of the old hotels in the city, all the major hotels. And he was sitting there, he had a puff from each week because everybody would be the next table. Frank Costello. They would come in his autographs, or take pictures, or shake his hand. So it was really, that's the candy of it. The clubs, the bar, the jewelry. Well, this guy's, even in the 20s, even the Jew crew, you know, and from Berlin, those guys dressed to the T's. They hang out at a broken candy store. They hang out at Midnight Roses, Saratoga, and Livonia. Some old, broken down candy store, 1920. He would sit there with custom-made suits on, with ties on. You'll never see them inactive. They were murderers. And they would sit in this broken down club and dress like they were going on a photo shoot. It's amazing. It's amazing how they always like candy, you know. And that's why the book is called Mob Stories, and the candy is all the second everything that goes along with it.
Sure. I just want to make a quick announcement. We're running out of time for the break, and I wanted to just give a shout out to the Tony Napoli, and it talks about Father Mike Young. We also carry Tony Napoli and his stories, and him coming up, and we had a great time with him here at Frankie as well.
Yeah, Tony's book is an autobiography, and it's a really, really good book.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller.
Yes.
It's really cool to be with him. I like asking questions, and I get to hear some good stuff. Once again, the Mob Candy cigars are also available, so you can get some of that Mob Candy. It's a limited edition Torpedo and Robusto shape that we carry at the store. It's available in single and packs.
And Uncle Frankie signs all the copies there.
They're all signed, which is really cool. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
And we should have bacon before I get arrested and I won't be able to do it no more.
And once again, like I said, we have the pleasure of having him come down and have a book signing. You can come down and smoke Mob Candy cigars, get a free T-shirt with the purchase of a book. Once again, this is Dave. Today at the shop, Refugio Cigar Lounge, 635 Lawrence Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Signing off with KD Sims again. Thanks guys for coming down.
Thank you.
Take care guys.